Hello and welcome to From a Test to a Testimony. I'm Michelle Drew, and this is a space for real conversations with real people about the moments that changed everything, the seasons that tested them, the turning points they never expected, and the meaning that they discovered on the other side. These stories aren't about perfection or having it all figured out. They're about resilience, growth, and what happens when life takes an unexpected turn. And today's guest is Mike Anderson. He has been married to his high school sweetheart, the love of his life, Debbie, for 38 years. They've been together for 45. They have two incredible children, and they're proud grandparents to three beautiful granddaughters. A third-degree black belt, and I'm going to let him tell you what kind of karate. Mike continues to teach and live the discipline he's practiced for years, decades really. Professionally, Mike spent 21 years in law enforcement with the Oswego County Sheriff's Department, retiring as a criminal investigator. During his career, he served in every role on the SWAT team. He worked undercover with the Drug Task Force and later went on to work in nuclear security as a firearms and general topics instructor. His testimony story is powerful and deeply moving, and I hope I'm going to be able to get through it. So, Mike, thank you
We, we,
so much
we
for,
all do. We both do. That's for sure. You know,
yes,
so that's a
yes,
mouthful. But it sounds like I accomplished a couple things in my life. That sounds
yes,
good.
you sure did. Now, what kind of karate is that you have a
Kyokushin.
yoke? Okay, perfect.
Kyokushin. Yeah, it's known for its fighting. It's hard style, no pads, It's good. It's good
Yeah,
mentally, spiritually, physically,
yeah,
keeps you going at an old age.
right. Well, that's a testament to the fact that you are no slouch.
Yeah,
And
well, I try. I try.
it it would take a lot to take you down.
Uh,
Um, let's go back to where everything started to happen. And I think, we're going to probably start with a motorcycle accident. Is that right?
yeah, yeah, that's kind of you go through a lot of self-awareness in your life, but life gets busy and you just do your thing day in and day out and day in and day out. And you don't think about deeply things and how they affect you, your family, and your relationships, really. So, my wife being the love of my life, my sweetheart, yeah, 45 years we've been together, and I just turned 60. So you can do the math on that. It's a long time, but
Yeah.
it's great. I wouldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't choose any other partner my whole life. So, uh, but it was coming up on our wedding anniversary, our 35th wedding anniversary. And I had a Harley years ago. And the grandkids came along and the kids were still, you're trying to help them out. And I sold it. I said, I'm just going to get rid of it. No big deal. Well, I got the itch to get another one. And Deb's like, hey, I'll buy it for you for our wedding anniversary. So started looking, ended up going to look at one. And she was like, in the car, and she's yelling at the guy, he'll take it. He'll just take it. I'm like, I don't even know if I like this one yet, but he'll take it. So lo and behold, that's the one that we bought. Um, and it was wintertime, and the guy delivered it, trailer, sat in the garage, needed some work. And this is where, when you look at your life and the significance of things that happen, God puts you in the place you're supposed to be every second of every day. And if you follow the story, I'll tell you why. So the bike needed a new back tire, a couple other little things. And I got a buddy that lives not too far from here, Jason Morgan, who opened his own motorcycle shop. I'm like, this is great. Bought the tire, da, da, da. And I take it out to Jason and I say, do your thing. When it's ready, call me, pick it up. No problem. So I get it back. It's in the garage. I'm riding it back and forth to work, no problem. Um, and then I remember the day. Yeah, obviously I remember the day. June 2nd of 22, right? And this is the things you won't see the memories of. June 2nd of 24. I'm sorry, 20, 22. It was 22. Sorry, Michelle. It's
No,
just,
it's fine. It's
it seems
fine.
like it hasn't been that long. Yeah. So, beautiful day. beautiful June day. I mean, it was unseasonably warm. I took the bike to work in the morning, and it was a Friday. I know because the guys were like, "Hey, we're all done with all this work. We might as well just get out of here. We'll pick everything up and we'll get out." Computer goes in the saddlebags. As I'm putting the computer in the saddlebag, there's a wrench in the bottom of the saddlebag that he had just installed. And I picked it up, and your people who are mechanics will laugh at this one. It's a 10 millimeter wrench, which the joke with mechanics is, how can I do anything? I can't find my 10 millimeter wrench. So I'm like, I've got Jesse's wrench. I'll get it back to him sometime. Well, the way I come home, I would, if I live over here, I come down the hill and I turn. No problem. I don't have to wait for traffic. I turn. Well, that day I came down the hill, the sun's shining, it's beautiful, beautiful, warm. People ride motorcycles. There's nothing better. I'm going to get out in the breeze. I just say, I'm going to go by the house, the turn to our house. I'm going to bring Jesse back his wrench and bust on him. Pull up in the driveway. I don't even shut the bike off. I tip off of it. I'm like, hey, Jesse, how are you getting any work done without your 10 millimeter wrench? He's like, that's where it went. I was looking all over for that thing. So, yeah. And that was a joke. So I hand him his wrench, jump back on the bike, going home now because I know Deb was, I think, going to be home. So I leave his house. He had fixed some other things. I'm shifting through, having a good old time. Again, beautiful day. And I come to a 4-way stop. Now I have to take a left to come home. And being aware of who's around me and what I'm doing, I don't like people riding behind me. I don't like cars behind me. So I get to the 4-way stop. I'm there first. There's a Ford pickup truck in the other stop area. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go. I want to be in front. So I take off. I got into her a little bit. Boom, 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 gone. I'm a mile from the turn I have to make. Now, when I took off, he was still at the stop sign. So I'm well in front of him. I mean, half a mile in front of him. I get to the stop. Now I'm here. I have to take a left-hand turn, so I have to wait for traffic that's coming this way. As I'm waiting for traffic, I'm all the way over to the left near the center line because, God forbid, somebody comes behind me, they can go around me. I don't want to create a backup. As I'm sitting there, the full-size quad cab Ford F-150, the 17-year-old driver, never touched a brake, hits me from behind, full force. I didn't hear it, see it. There was no screech. There was nothing. The first thing that I feel is I'm going backwards. From the martial arts, I know I'm going to get hit. I got to breathe out. So as I hit, I went like that, like that. And I looked and I could literally see the Ford emblem on the front of the truck. My elbow hit, my head must have hit back like that. It's light, dark, light again, and that's it.
Wow.
Unfortunately, there was a school bus full of kids.
Oh.
And in talking to people, I argued for a good 3 months because they ask you, did you lose consciousness? Oh, come on. Ford truck can't take me down. I didn't lose consciousness. And I argued for a good 3 months until I spoke to one of the witnesses, and she said, you were out on the pavement for a good 3 minutes. We thought you were dead. Wow. My daughter thought you were dead. I can't wait to go home and tell her that you're okay.
Wow.
And that's where I laid. That's where I laid. Here's where it gets here's what's going to get emotional for me. Because when you put things in perspective, then you understand them more clearly. My first conscious thought was, don't die for her. Something was saying to me, don't die for her. Yeah. Don't die for her. And now I'm on my hands and knees, kind of shaking what's going on. Pull my helmet off, which I guess you're not supposed to do. Pull my helmet off, hearing aid comes flying out. Now I see the kid off to my light. I smash the helmet on the ground and I'm getting up because I don't care. He just hit me. I'm going. I stood up. and I started to cock my fist, and when I did, my lungs collapsed. All I had a sliver
Wow.
of lung that I was breathing through, and it was a bam, back down I went. Um, there was a gentleman next to me. His girlfriend's out of the car. She's screaming at him, "What are you doing? What'd you do? What'd you do?" There's a gentleman next to me. Next thing I hear is screeching of tires. And I'm thinking, here it comes. Here it comes. Somebody's coming the other way. I'm going to get it again. Well, the kid jumped in his truck. When he hit me, his bumper went over my tire. My bike was stuck straight up and down, still running, still signal light on. He's backing up to get the bike out. Now, one of the guys I work with, the sheriff's department, still on the job, lives 4 houses down. And he comes running up, and that was the end of the kid trying to go anywhere. And then he
Good.
comes over to me, how can I help you? The gentleman next to me, and I wish I knew who he was, I'd like to give him a hug.
Oh,
My phone wouldn't work. I had my phone. My phone's waffled, and I got hit so hard that it shut the phone down. It was still there, but it was like emergency, 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 emergency. And I don't have any of that set up. You should set that up. So he says, "Can I do anything for you?" And I got my daughter's phone number up on my screen. I said, "Call that number." Now, all this is going through my head. This could very well be my last phone call. What
right.
am I going to say? I don't have time to say anything. He dials the phone, he hands it to me. Now, at the time I called where she was working, the girl answered. I said, "Hey, get Caitlin." I got my breath the best I could.
Good.
And I said, "Hey, Caitlin, honey, I just got in a car accident. I just got in a motorcycle accident. They're probably going to take me to Oswego Hospital." Now, people from Oswego are going to hear this and be like, "Nah, nah, nobody goes to, if you got a hangnail, something, go to Oswego Hospital." But you don't go to Oswego Hospital, especially with injuries like that. So I said, "You got to get mom." I know she was working at a spa and she didn't have her phone. I go, "You got to go get mom. I'm going to go to Oswego Hospital. I love you. Goodbye." That was it. I hung up. And the ambulance shows up shortly after that with obviously people that know me because I was kind of in the
Right.
business. And they tried to put me on my side. They tried to straighten me out. Now, when I got hit, 3 of my ribs totally detached. Like your ribs are supposed to be
Oh,
here, totally detached, gone. All the other ones were cracked. Both of my lungs are deflated. I can't breathe. I'm going
oh my God.
like that to try to get a breath into my body.
Wow.
Um, Finally, I tell him, I said, "I can't get on my back. I can't straighten my spine out." I'm thinking, I'm doing all this and my toes, and I'm not
Right.
paralyzed yet, but I thought, so I'm trying to get it together.
Mm.
Finally get me on my side, get me in the ambulance. And my EMT people out there will laugh at this. They take my blood pressure, they take my heart rate, all that good stuff. And my blood pressure's like 120 over 78. I'm like, that's pretty damn good. I'm doing good here. My blood, my heartbeat's going good. Everything's great. I'm thinking like this till I talked to an EMT friend of mine. He's like, "Hey, dummy, you were in shock," and everything was starting to go down like that. So I'm in the ambulance for a little bit, and Debbie's cousin, actually my karate instructor's wife,
Mm.
Lori, is a city police officer, and she got wind of it, came out, and next thing the ambulance doors flies open. I'm like, "Hey, kid, how you doing?" So I was still pretty, full face, very tight helmet. Um, and then, she went and got Deb, and then they come to the hospital. Couple things funny about the accident are I had a half shell helmet at home. I just couldn't wear it. And most of the reason why was because of the hearing aids. If I have a half
Oh,
shell, Michelle, I was like,
yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
hear.
Yes.
And then I bought this helmet off of Marketplace. And when I tried it on, it was really tight, like really tight. And I'm thinking, okay, why not?
Wow.
Comfortable, it'll break in tight. My helmet has St. Michael on it, patron saint of police officers,
Oh,
big mural on the back of it with a sword. That's the helmet I wore. Even when I was riding a Harley, I didn't care. I don't
Mm,
want to be cool. I want to be safe, right?
right,
And I
right.
always dress for, they say, dress for the slide, not for the ride. I had full
Yeah.
leather boots,
Wow.
gloves. I didn't have my gloves on that day. But
Wow.
when I smashed the helmet on the ground, it put a little dent in the back of the helmet. Other than that, there wasn't a mark on my leather coat. There wasn't a mark on my pants, my boots. The helmet was pristine. I still have it. Pristine.
Wow.
It was like somebody took me and laid me down on the ground. I didn't slide under cars. I didn't hit cars, just laid me on the ground.
Wow.
So
That's amazing.
yeah, yeah. People are like,
Wow.
so I mean, I'll go back to this part of it because we'll probably end it there because it's going to get ugly. But
Yeah, I
so
know.
off to Syracuse I go. I can tell you every bump in the road from here to there because
Oh,
obviously I'm shattered. I couldn't relax my body. My legs were curling up. I could not relax my body. I'm just holding everything so tight. It's like I'm in
wow.
shock, right? That's what's
Yeah,
happening. So
yeah.
they zip me into the trauma center. Deb's standing there. And I, I'm okay, kid. That's all I said
Oh,
to her. Um, and funny thing there, because you're probably going to hear this in your journey telling this story because it'll come up somewhere. I'll never forget it. I saw her, grabbed her hand. I'm okay. They turned me the corner. The charge nurse says to his boss, 2 micrograms of fentanyl. I said, absolutely not. He looks at me, he goes, what? I go, absolutely not. You're not giving me that. And I can't breathe. I'm like, no, yeah, absolutely not. He goes, what are you, tough guy? I go, tough enough. You want some Tylenol? I said, if you got him, just like that to him. I'm not doing it, right? I'm not
yeah.
going down that road.
Wow.
So
Wow.
they come in, they do, I mean, every test imaginable, the x-rays, they're trying to lay me flat. They were great up there. They're
Oh,
fantastic for me. Um, and the trauma surgeon came in that night. He goes, I got to ask you a question. I go, yeah, what's up? Tell me what happened. And go through the story because they want to hear it.
right.
He goes, just like this. Why aren't you dead? I said, you tell me.
Mm,
That's when I'm like,
right.
what's my purpose?
Yeah,
Why are I not dead?
yeah.
And then it starts flashing, this could have happened. PTSD was horrible. I couldn't sleep for this.
Mm,
I still have somebody asked me the other day, do you have any injuries from that? I said, nothing you would ever see.
right.
Balance is
Yeah.
off. I have weird side effects. Like if I eat a good meal, my nose, it's crazy. My nose runs. Every once in a while, my foot will cramp for no reason at all. It'll just
Yeah.
go up. But my point to everybody was I'm alive.
Right.
I'm totally alive.
Right.
Um, so I spend 24 hours, almost 24 hours in the trauma center emergency room because they don't have a bed for me. And it was, Michelle, it was like a circus.
Oh,
One lady came in, poor thing, got hit by a car, but she popped up and left on her own. One guy died in the parking lot of fentanyl. They brought him in, put him back out. Cops came, he fought them, and he took off so he could go do the rest of it, he said. Then the prison guards came in with a guy that had been stabbed in prison. I mean, bleeding everywhere. I'm sitting there. I'm on my
oh
side. I
my.
can't move, and I'm watching all this stuff. And the curtain keeps getting pushing farther and farther and farther. I said, Deb, you got to go. I said, you got to go home. Just go home.
Yeah.
So 24 hours later, they moved me from that ER curtained area to one like down a little bit, and now they're trying to give me Oxycontin because I can't inflate my lungs. I can't. I'm literally.
Wow.
I'm like, so I finally gave into that.
Okay.
I said, I will try it just to try to get this pain
Right.
away a little bit. And I can deal with it. It's never the pain that bothers me. It's the anticipation of it. Like if you tell
Right.
me you're getting a tooth pulled out or something, it's the anticipation, right? It's not
Right.
the pain. Pain is in the mind. It's relative.
Yeah.
It's a again, martial art thing. You can control your mind.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
mind will your mind will give up long before your body does. So
Mm,
I think I'm 2 oxys in, and kind of just zoning out. Deb's there by now because I wouldn't take it unless she was there to help me, and you know how that goes.
Yeah.
And this is funny. This is hilarious. It's a teaching hospital upstate, and all these residents come in, right? So they all filter in around the bed like this, and the trauma surgeon, female trauma surgeon, and another main surgeon were the last ones to go. She starts to talk. You know how they say, you know, Mike Anderson, 58 year, blah, blah, blah. I go, Mike Anderson, 57-year-old presents sexy. Deb is dying. She's laughing. She's looking at me like, you just said that? I go, I don't know. So the trauma surgeon says to me, you need to reinflate your lungs. I go, I am not a rocket scientist, but yeah, thanks. I don't know how. She goes, you got to breathe deep. I go, I can't. It hurts. Well, take the medicine, stupid. She says to me, she goes, I'm giving you till tomorrow morning. I'm going to admit you. I'm going to give you till tomorrow morning. If your lungs aren't reinflated, I'm going to bring you into the OR. You're going to be fully awake and you're not going to like it. And I'm going to cut a hole in your side through your rib cage, and I'm going to stick a tube in there, and your lungs are going to reinflate. I said, well,
God.
I don't want to do that.
Oh my gosh.
So up I go. And I'm in a room with a nice guy. He had a heart attack or something. I gave him all my food. I'm like, I'm not going to eat. So he goes home. I'm in the room by myself. I'm a religious deep in my heart. Don't wear it on my sleeve. I have personal beliefs, and that's where I keep them.
Yeah.
And I'm saying a lot of prayers, and I'm thinking, I got to reinflate my lungs, which means I got to move. Nobody around. I got out of bed. I stood up, and in true Kyokushin fashion, I started throwing punches like this, nice and easy.
Wow.
And I did that for probably 20 minutes, half an hour. And I laid back down, and I could breathe.
Wow.
I could breathe. And that was it for the night for me. They came back in the next day. I'm like, hey, I want to go home. Well, we got to take all the x-rays and show, yeah, your lungs are good. They showed Debbie the x-rays of my ribs. I go, what did it look like? She goes, it looked like a tree. Everything was tree.
Wow.
And then the other ones were like snapped up. They're like, we can
Right.
open you up and realign those and put mesh and wire. And I go, no, I don't want anything foreign in my body like that. And
Right.
will I heal? Yeah. Does it hurt? Yeah. It's still uncomfortable at times, but again, I'm alive.
Right.
And I'm trying to figure out why I'm alive, other than I got to be there for my family. I'm trying to figure out why I'm alive, and I'm trying to figure out what happened. I'm trying to figure out, why isn't my helmet just shattered? Why isn't the face mask busted? Because from, you get the accident report, and there was a lady listed on there as a witness and her phone number. So I called her. You'd have thought I would send her $100 million in the mail.
Wow.
I explained who I was, and she was almost in tears. Oh my God, I'm so glad you called me. I'm so glad you called me. And I'm like, why? I got in an accident. I stood up and got in the ambulance, or they picked me up. She goes, I thought you were dead. After I left and went home, I thought they put you in the ambulance, and I thought you were dead.
Wow.
Why would you think that? She goes, you don't know? I go, no, I don't know anything. She goes, I saw the whole thing. He's not going to stop. He's not going to stop. He's not going to stop. And I saw the accident, and I saw your head hit the hood of the truck. And I saw your head hit the pavement. I said, how did I land? Because I'm thinking in my heart, I got let slowly down.
Right.
My dad, my aunt, whoever,
Right.
whoever's watching out for me.
Right.
She said, no, you came like a shot, straight up like a rocket, and you landed on the back of your head and your neck. She says, like that. And then you just bam, went out. And I'm thinking to myself, this kid's going 50, 55 miles an hour. Yeah. Never stop. it's bad enough that, when I hit like this, why didn't it explode my heart? It broke my ribs. Why didn't my ribs go through something?
Yeah.
Don't know. I thought that I just kind of gently laid and slid,
Right.
but and I'm telling you, I have the leather jacket and I have the helmet,
That's
not a
crazy.
single mark on anything.
Wow. I got goosebumps.
So yeah, so I laid there for 3 minutes, and this is where it gets for me. And I keep this to myself, and I'm going to share it with everybody because people have probably had these experiences and not
Yeah.
ever spoken of them or really realized it happened to them because you think you're in a dream.
Right.
I don't remember anything of after the light, dark light, and
Mm.
then being up on my hands and knees. I don't remember anything. Like I said, my first conscious thought, don't die for her.
Yeah.
She's Nobody knows my wife. She's more independent than anybody I've ever met. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. She might miss me a little bit, but she'll be fine. Um, but I had this overwhelming feeling of the warmest hug
Mm.
from Jesus that you will
Wow.
ever imagine. Now, people are like, oh, did you see a light? Did you go? No, I didn't see any of my relatives. I didn't see a light. Can I say that I saw a vision? I can't. But when you have a dream, can you wake up and say, oh, I
Yeah.
had a vision? No, you have an idea in your head.
Yeah.
And it was dirt, wasn't green. It was dirt like into the time of Jesus in the area. And uh, not brilliant white linens, but just linens, white, just the biggest hug. And it was
Wow.
like peace. It was like peaceful. And if I
Mm.
have to go back to that, go tomorrow.
Wow.
Something there's a peace to it. There was a
Yeah.
calming and a peace to it. And I think
Wow.
once that was over with, and I was coming this way and not going that way,
Right.
it was, hey, get back to work. Don't die for her was the message.
Mm. Wow.
And that really played out a lot in
Yeah.
my life.
Yeah.
Um, I've learned to be more patient.
Mm.
I've learned to not take things personally,
Yeah.
to do my best and understand that I'm doing my best.
Right.
You can't control everything. You
Right.
can only control the things. This is cliche. You can only
Yeah.
control the things that are under your control. Okay,
Mm.
and most of the
Yeah.
things aren't. You
Right.
have to trust in God. I have a really really great friend, Joe, and something happens, I call Joe.
Yeah.
He says the same thing to me all the time. Can't control it, man. Give it up to
Oh,
God. Can't control it.
yeah.
And I know what that meant
So true.
before.
Yeah.
Now I do. Now I
Wow.
understand it.
Wow. Yeah.
This I have maybe told two people.
Well, you've told a lot more now.
That's all right. It's all right. It's
And I love that it's meant to be shared, I
yeah,
believe.
yeah. Because I mean everybody's got to get right in their own life with their own
Mm.
way and their own path.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you have to know that this isn't it. This
Yeah.
is this is what you make it.
Mm.
And if you can help people, you help people.
Yeah.
You can be
I
there for
love that.
people, you be there for people.
Yeah. That's amazing. And I feel like somebody needs to hear that today.
Yeah.
And I'm really
Yeah.
glad that we got to share at least that part of your story. I know
Yeah.
that this is going to be a
Yeah.
second episode because there's so much more
Yeah.
to come. And
Mm.
I just want to thank you for this introduction to where we're going to go the next time. And thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you having
Yeah.
me.
Oh, you
It's
bet.
it's an important message that everybody needs to interpret in their own way.
Yeah.
Because maybe people throughout my life have given me that message.
Yeah.
You you know where I come from? I've seen a lot of death and destruction in my
Mm,
entire life.
mm,
I've seen family members pass in my arms.
yeah,
Everybody has a story.
right,
Everybody has a hardship.
right,
It's what
right,
you do with it, and it's what it's telling you
right,
that you
right.
need to figure out.
Yeah, yeah, so true. So true. And I'm glad you're still here, but it makes me feel something knowing that when it's your time to go back there, it's going to be okay,
Yeah.
right? That's kind of cool. That's
It's
kind of cool.
easiest. It's easiest for the person going there.
Yeah,
Hardest for the people behind.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Well, thank you so much. We'll close
Welcome.
out this section and so thank you all for being part of this conversation. If this story spoke to you, please subscribe to the channel and share it with someone who needs to hear this message today. New episodes will be posted on the 11th and the 22nd of each month. So tune in and we'll see you next time.
Thanks,
Thank
Michelle.
you. You
Bye
bet.
bye.
Bye-bye.